Hi everybody, this is another Flying Rookie video, and this is another video of my VC-550 camouflage quadcopter. And in this video I'm gonna do another one of those maiden flights that I always do, but this one is gonna be a little bit different. I mean, today is Eastern 2012, okay? And what I'm gonna do with this aircraft is that I'm gonna do a first flight again, but with another flight controller. So flight controllers on this aircraft and ESCs that are going to this aircraft like they were going out style. I don't know what's up with me. And even this great nice motors that I got, they're gonna be replaced with motors that they're gonna be exactly the same size and everything. The only difference is that they're gonna have, you know, a little bit of more KVs, so I can have more lifting power. Anyway, let's talk about what's new over here. I had some setbacks with this aircraft, like I mentioned in the past, especially with the ESCs. And then after that, I started trying different types of flight controllers. But at the end, I put a flight controller that is among the small list of flight controllers that they are on the top of the food chain. Okay, and the flight controller that I got over here is the famous DJI Naza. It's that little beautiful white box. It's right in the bottom over here. Okay, and one thing that you see that I did to it, and it's weird because supposedly this flight controller, when you mount it, you just use a normal double side tape, and I didn't really trust that, so I mounted, you know, like on this vibration absorbing sticky pads, now the ones that you buy for gyros, and I even double stack them. As you can see, they're not only one, there are two. Okay, and they're gonna put, you know, like two long ones on this side and two long ones. Actually, it was one single solid, like a square inch sticky pad, and I just cut it by the half. I put double stack one half over here and double stack the other half over here. Okay, and another thing that you can see is that I got these wires over here, and these wires are gonna go to servos that are gonna control that sea laser design 2-axis camera mount that I put together for this quadcopter frame like a few videos back. Okay, so this flight controller also can control and gimbal camera mount, and it does it better than the free flight controller that I was trying to use over here. Okay, now I'm not 100% sure about my ESC how compatible my ESCs they're gonna be with this, because there's an issue about this particular flight controller that supposedly doesn't work with all the ESCs. The ESCs supposedly they have to be like a 400 hertz rate or larger for them to be able to work. The ESCs that I got over here right now, they are sold by Hobby Parts, and they are the Proton, and the ones that I got right now, they are 30 amps. Okay, that's the ESCs that I'm using right now. It's the Proton Exceed RC Proton 30 amps. Now, when I purchased these ESCs that are built by Hobby Wing, because the package when they came in, it says Hobby Wing all over the place. So I'm assuming that Hobby Wing is a company that built ESCs for a lot of companies out there, like the Turnigy ESCs that are also Hobby Wing. So I've been seeing, you know, like these white spike quadcopters flying with Turnigy ESCs, and I checked the specifications of the Turnigy ESCs and the Proton, and they were pretty much similar. The only thing that the Proton didn't specify on the Hobby Parts website is the hertz, you know, the refresh frequency rate. It didn't specify that, so that's why I decide, you know, I gamble, and I don't know, when I was at home, when I finished, you know, plugging everything in, you know, the ESCs, they start working, you know, the word responding to the flight controller. So I don't know what an ESC that is not compatible with this particular flight controller, what they will do. Okay. Another thing that you guys have to do if you buy this badass flight controller is that you see this thing over here. There's the wires that are coming from the ESCs, and they're connected to this other wire that is plugged to where the ESCs that are actually supposed to be plugged. Okay. When you buy this flight controller right now is externally powered by the battery that powers the aircraft. That's why you see this little unit over here. This little unit got a wire that is coming from the power distribution board. That's the board that powers the ESCs, and that's the board that's connected to the battery connectors. And that's the board that sends the power to this unit, and then this unit powers the flight controller. So you don't use the power from the ESCs, from the BC of the ESCs to power the flight controller. So either you got like a programmable ESC, you can either turn the BEC off in all the ESCs, or you will have to remove the positive cable. That will be the cable in the middle of the servo wire of the ESCs. But me, instead of doing that, I just purchased 4 wire adapters, servo extensions, and I completely removed from the female and the male. I completely removed the positive wire, and then after that I put some shrink tubings just to make the 2 separate wires, you know, stay together instead of using zip ties. And it looks nicer, it looks cleaner, and that's why I like, you know, with all the RC stuff that I have, you know, all the wiring to look as nice as clean as possible. I don't like the sloppiness. You know, sloppiness is not acceptable in my book. Okay, so that's why I did that, and it looks nice. Okay, you can see that's everything is connected properly. Okay, so right now I'm in this part. They surrounded by trees. It's like a small soccer field, and I got this cemetery behind me. It's like a little hill. The nice thing about this is, like, when other parts the wing is criminal, over here is mild to nothing, you know, the wind, because this park, like I said, is surrounded by trees. So the trees, they act like a shield that protects me from the wind. Okay, so let me put my radio on. Enough talking. Let's proceed to fly this aircraft and see how nice this flight controller works. Right now I got this light flashing, so that means that supposedly means that this thing is set up on altitude mode. And I believe when you fly on altitude mode, that means that when you let go of the sticks, when you fly the aircraft to a certain height and you let go of the sticks, it will stay in place, because this flight controller got barometers, and he knows how high it's off the ground, so he will stay in that altitude. Of course, the wind is going to carry it away, because it's not like the Wukong. The Wukong doesn't only got altitude hold, but it got, you know, position hold too, because it got GPS. Now the Wukong is, you know, over $1,100, and this one is only $230. So I'm not ready yet to buy the Wukong. I would love to in my sometime maybe this year, later in this year, I might buy the Wukong, and I'll use it here, because it's my main quadcopter. From all the ones that I got and the ones that I'm gonna buy in the near future, this is my main quadcopter. But you know, it's too much bling bling on the Wukong, so I cannot afford that. $1,100 is a serious expense, and I don't know why. You look at the Wukong itself, you don't see the GPS unit, the extra module that comes with, and the antenna. The Wukong and this flight controller just look the same. I know the Wukong do a million things that this flight controller doesn't do, but I'm okay with that. Well, You know what? The sun is going up, and I don't want to get flashed. Blind. So let me just move a little bit closer to where I was, and just set up the aircraft over here. Okay. Now, one weird thing about this flight controller, from all the flight controllers that I had, is like when you arm it and disarm it. For example, when you arm it, the motors just start spinning, and they stay spinning for like 5 seconds, and they do it, like slow. It doesn't do it so fast that it will make the aircraft, take off. But it will spin the motors a little bit, and then after that, if you don't take off 5 seconds after the motors, they do that, they're gonna stop, and you have to rearm the flight controller again. So I'm gonna rearm it. All right, I'm gonna fly. Oh, took too long. Oh my God, this thing is so freaking stable. I can't even goddamn believe it. Jesus Christ. This aircraft never been so stable in his life. I know it's a little breeze right now. I feel the jaw is a little bit, needs a little bit of trim. And just trim it. This is a little bit of tiny oscillation, but it's not. It's manageable anyway. I'm so happy I didn't have to change. Oh, I just was trimming the wrong thing. Yeah, this thing feels so easy to fly. It's unfreaking believable. And I'm so happy that I didn't have to change this flight, the ESCs, because I went to so many ESCs on this goddamn aircraft. It's not funny. It's oscillating a little bit. So the nice thing about this is that I can set up the gain from the remote. So I'm just gonna lower the gain and see. And the gain that I'm setting up right now is the gain for the jaw. Because that's the gain that people, they adjust the most. So I got this little trim over here, so you can program that gain to set up the jaw. So it's not like most of the flight controls that you will either have to hook it up to the computer. Sun is going up and it wants to blind me, so I have to get away from it. It's getting windy and crazy. Now, if any of you guys have flied the NASA, know what would be, what setting will work for you guys, I would like to hear from you guys. And see what would be the perfect, setting for the gyros. Okay, I just keep playing that all that trimming that I've been doing. It's been I've been trimming the jaw from the remote. Yeah, I just lowered it from the remote just to see if I can, do something about the oscillation, the little oscillation that I'm getting. I think right now I got on 100%. I mean the numbers over here, they go from like 50 to 100 to like 200, I think, the range. So it doesn't really make sense when you compare it with most of the gyros out there. All the flight controllers, they are from 0 to 100, and most people, the default setting is 50. Over here, the default setting is like 120. Yeah, it just went down to 100. So I'm gonna go down a little bit more. What I notice is that the jaw is a little bit less responsive, but the aircraft feels more stable. But I also feel that these motors, they're not really that powerful. That's another thing that's another reason I'm gonna replace them. I think they're not that powerful because they're not that fast. Nevertheless, it feels easier to fly than any of the other flight controllers that I had in the past. Let me lower it a little bit more. I know these large props are using 12-inch props here, and they're perfectly balanced. But even they're perfectly balanced, props, they tend to, the larger they are, the more they flex, and the more they flex, the more they vibrate. The motors, on the other hand, they are not balanced at all. So I haven't really done anything about the motors. Now there's no wing at all right now, and he's staying there. Now I just lowered the jaw a little bit more. Like I said before, I'm really happy I didn't have to replace these ESCs. So I see that this Proton, they are really compatible with this flight controller, and that's good. And they only cost like, I don't know, I think I paid like $12 each. I'm going over 8 minutes of flying time right now. Just bring it back. Since things are going so nice over here, I guess my FPV flight with this aircraft is coming soon. It's coming really soon. crazy. And it started doing that after the wind started blowing. Okay, so what I need to understand is if I give, I'm just giving less gain. I mean, I was lowering the numbers over here with the gain. So I don't know if that will make the aircraft. I don't know how common. I mean, how this flight controller respond according to the other flight controllers in the market. I know you lower the gain on a normal flight controller, I mean a little bit, it will make the jaw less responsive, but it will make the aircraft more stable. And you do the other way, and you give more gain, not going over 10 minutes. It will be the other way around. It will make the aircraft, if you go up in the gain, it will make the jaw more responsive, but it will make the aircraft less stable. I just went over 10 minutes. This flight controller. I know he starts feeling heavy. Right now, I have to give, the stick go higher a little bit. Well, now the light bulb alarm kick in, so let me just bring it towards me and land it. Alright, it's down. Let me just you see, that's the nice thing about this flight controller. Once you land it and you cut the throttle completely, he won't do anything. He just stay there. Unless I arm it again, he won't go by itself again. So you don't even need to use the throttle lock with this thing. So I believe that I still have, a long way to go when it comes to, adjusting the trims. I mean the gains. And the only gain that I can adjust right now from the remote is the jaw. I cannot adjust the pitch or the roll. I have the choice to program a second switch over here, so I can adjust the other two. But unfortunately, this aircraft, I mean not unfortunately, but the other optional output that I had, I programmed it to control the gimbal camera mount. So I can really, I don't have another spare of inputs for me to program any of the other settings. So from the flight controller for the gain. So I guess the other settings I will have to do on my computer. But I have to see what other settings people use on their flight controller, so I can do the same over here and see if I can get a better stable, a more stable flight. Okay, so once I get this flight controller perfectly tuned, I'm gonna do my first flight video with it using the 2-axis camera mount, and then after that, I'm gonna do my first FPV flight. I got all the FPV equipment at home, ready to go. It's just a matter of getting this flight controller perfectly tuned. And that's something I'm gonna prefer to do once I get the right motor. So I'm gonna get it sometime this week. Okay, so thanks to everybody for watching. Please don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe. Okay, bye.